Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the league that keeps on giving, the Overwatch University League, and we're back again for one more game from week one, or round one if you want to call it that, from the second season of the Overwatch University League. My name is Daniel Dudge Sandal, and joining me today, and hosting for us as well, is Wesley Energy Being. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How about you?
Man, we are really excited for this one. We've finally got our game with Masters, Grandmasters, and we are going to Division 1 as well, so it's
Our
going to be a
first time. Our
incredible
first
set of
time.
games. I
Yeah.
honestly cannot wait for this. We've got two teams coming up for you guys tonight. We're going to be going over to the Muffin Kickers versus Unreal Esports, and what a story it is. Two teams, both out of Division 1, who are both using the same home maps for this season. So this is something that's potentially going to go to Game 3 on us as well.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. Usually when two people, like when the two teams are on the same page about which maps they're doing, it really becomes a struggle more about their actual skills than about, oh, we just have, better knowledge of this home map. Instead, they both know what they're doing on both of these maps and then could go all the way. We could be here for an hour, 20 minutes, depending on how long this goes. We don't normally see the third game, but we've already seen it this week, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it again.
And of course, we are going to be expecting a much higher level of play coming out of these teams, as we mentioned, coming out of Division 1. First of all, we'll be heading over to Lijiang Tower, where both teams are going to be starting off, and both teams will be fighting for their first victory of the season. And that's a huge momentum swing coming into the season as well.
Yeah, it's really, when you start off with a win, it is so good for you going forward. Your team really can pull together around that and keep going on into further games like, yes, we have the momentum, we've got this. If we can just stay undefeated, we can win this entire tournament and get to our final playoffs, which will be a great thing for anybody who watches it, I'm sure, when the time comes around.
But of course, some of you out there may be wondering, what the hell are we actually talking about? Well, just to quickly get you guys into the knowledge, we are going to be streaming the Overwatch University League, which is hosted by reddit.com/r/Overwatch University. And what we do here, we're not a university league in the sense that you have to be from a university to join us. We're more here for the teaching front. We're here to make sure that teams have that introduction to competitive spirit. On top of that, teams are able to learn as the season progresses, and that is the main emphasis. We are the largest recreational Overwatch league, and we are dedicated here to helping players, casters, and coaches get better at what they enjoy doing. And just from experience, I can say for a damn certainty that we've gotten better at casting as this seasons have gone on.
We've gotten a lot better as this has gone on. Our first streams weren't bad, but they definitely aren't to the level that they are now. For sure.
I do remember going into my first cast, actually. It was with Sindane, who's unfortunately not going to be with us just for a little while, unfortunately. But he may have disconnected. I may have solo casted in my first ever game, and it may have gone absolutely abysmally. So definitely ironed those out as things have gone on. And on top of that, we did speak about players and coaches. A lot of the players from last season have not only gone up divisions as solo players, but on top of that, they've actually gone on as teams to progress onto absolutely fantastic things. Huge growth coming out of those guys.
Yeah, there's lots of growth from a lot of these people. Like, between each time that people have been going into these, like, tournaments, from the first tournament, we see a lot of people who are going into this second round now, this second tournament at, higher and higher divisions. People are getting better, coaches know what they're doing, and casters are just getting better as they do it more and more, and we're really all about that growth here, all about the community trying to help each other out as we go forward.
And of course, it is a fantastic community as well. I have to say, from coming in, no matter what question you have, there will always be somebody in the Discord to help you out. Just as a quick reminder, if you guys out there do want to get involved as well, you can come onto our Discord, which is discord.gg OWU University. It's there you can sign up as a free agent, you can substitute for teams that are needing players for matches or for scrimmages, or you can just get involved with the absolutely fantastic community that we do have. But first of all, back to business. We're going to Lijiang Tower, and straight away we are going into quite an amazing map, as we're going to be heading straight into the night mark. Oh no!
No, this is gardens.
That's the one, garden. Professionals.
Professionalism. Hashtag professionalism. But
Exactly.
basically, it looks like we're getting a dive comp out of both teams this time, which, I kind of expect. I kind of expect out of the higher leagues going into this kind of map to get on each other. Oh, looks like the first action's coming out now.
They're getting on each other straight away, as you mentioned, as Winstons are going to be diving on Winstons. Genjis are going to be going all in on aggressive. Hammerkick, who's one of our streamers that we do have in the communities, trying to get that air superiority. Quadish is bringing out that diva, but the trades kills are coming out thick and fast already, as Denta trades off against his counter. Knight Leader taking down Weirdox as well. Flankers getting the better of the monkeys here, but we did miss it. Farah killing off a Farah, not something you see very often, and we're going to have Muffin Kinkers getting straight onto this point. Kills are still being traded though, and huge contest will still be coming in from Unreal Esports as this control point is being put down onto Lock. That's going to be our first pulse bomb into the straight res, getting that invulnerability as Denta going to trade off another kill down onto Knight's Leader, moving straight around the point still as we're going in for more fights. Hammer Kicks killing off Weirdox, and Hammer Kick getting the second. Kier will take out Fusion on the back end of this, and Hammer Kick as well. Too far as 2 kills apiece, but this will be Unreal Esports getting that point on Lock first.
It was a long fight, a long drawn-out fight, but Unreal Esports really knows what they're doing. They're getting in there, they're fighting well. They've been trading fairly well going into this. Kier being a little bit more dominant in the skies than Hammer Kick just now, but we could see it go both ways. Both of these teams are extremely skilled, and we have no idea how it's going to turn out just yet.
Unreal Esports are going to be using this to try and carry the momentum forward. Self-destruct coming through, but Denta does get that 2 kills with his Dragon Blade. Big, important ult that is going to be used as Hammer Kick still coming around, trying to aggress this garden section of the map. That will be a Genji flying up in the air and doing a front flip as the kills are still being traded across the board. Weirdox and Kier getting 2 of their own. Hammer Kick going to be using that rocket barrage now, but that will be him taken down by the opposing Farah of Kier. Nano Boost will come out into the attack visor, so the Nano Visor coming through. That's going to be Rocket Barrage securing 2 kills alone. Beautiful work coming out from Kier to keep this defense on hold.
This action is going so fast it's almost hard to capture with my camera, which is surprising to say the least. I am not even certain who to go to in each of these battles because everybody's doing such amazing work.
Lots of damage coming through across both teams. Both teams also getting their ultimates very quickly as the fight going to be starting again. Kier does trade out Knight Leader almost immediately as the fight's still going on onto Unreal Esports spawn now. Moving straight over as the Pharmacy up in the air does secure the 1 kill. Denta getting the second. This could still be Unreal Esports taking the superiority here as the Monkey does start to channel that Primal Rage, trying to get people out of the point as Hammer Kick will take his opposing number out of the game as well. Still the lockdown from Unreal Esports, however, as 3 members of the Muffin Kickers are still on the point. Knight Leader will take down Quadish's Diva Mech as we're going to be breaking it down now. Alterna trying to keep this fight going as overtime will be forced. Lots of people coming in. Fusion does get the kill with his Helix Rocket, as still moving around. Hammer Kick trying to find another, and there's Aimer Man. He is my man as he's going to get 2 kills for himself. Point still being aggressive. Fusion using Helix Rockets once again. Nano Blade, Genji Blade still coming out. Fusion does go down to this as that's the second picked up from Denta here. Weirdox finishing another onto Alterna as that's another Rocket Barrage securing this point and securing overtime still in flight. Monkey the only man left, and overtime depleted for the first round to Unreal.
This has been a crazy match. The action is so fast it's hard to follow. I might have to go with the third-person camera a lot more going into the next one. There has been such solid play. Everybody knows exactly what they're doing at all times, moving into the point, moving out of the point, aggressing onto each other. The healers are keeping in relatively safe positions at all times. Zeradan, the Mercy on the eSports team definitely knows where to stay so that she can get that res off at just the right time, and that is such a good skill, especially at this high of a skill level. It's really hard to stay alive with Mercy. You kind of expect the Animore, which is coming out now into this fight.
Of course, we are heading into Control Center now, so a different style of map, much more closed down, and we're not going to see a far off of this as both teams are going to be heading in to the middle of the point straight away.
There is also one thing to mention. There is only one healer on the Unreal Esports team, which is an entirely unorthodox pick, though they do have the Sombra now, and it looks like they're doing the Sombra cheese, getting the healing words. They're getting the, they're getting the healing items everywhere on the map, going up so that they can, get that ult very fast.
It has been known for Kier to play this Sombra, and he's already showing how good he is there, but it's Weirdox who's going to be upstaging him. 3 kills picked up for the Reinhardt straight away as Kier and Quadish do finish up this team fight alongside Denta to secure Unreal Esports point once again.
Yeah, this is going very well for them so far. They're being a bit more dominant on the point than Muffin Kickers are, but it does go both ways. They are trading back and forth each time in these fights. It is very impressive, though, that the Unreal Esports team is keeping the point so aggressively with just one healer right now.
Always a pleasure to see this Sombra pick in action. Sombra's gone back up to the balcony as we're seeing Muffin Kickers start to aggress the point once again. EMP coming through! Fusion going to be taken out of his mech almost instantly as this will be Trad Truck becoming the truck himself, and he's going to mow down the Diva alongside Zaradan on that Ana.
Oh,
now,
and Night Leader caught out on the outside.
We just have so many talking points coming into this, but the teams aren't giving us the breathing room here. And honestly, it's brilliant to see just how aggressive they're being coming into this. Blade is ready, coming out of the side. Hammer kick. Fire at will be coming down, and that's going to be 2 kills with the Pulse Bomb as the Genji Blade secures 2 once again. This will still be 3 for 3 as Ayaman gets himself onto Denta with that jump pack. Now trying to chase out the Sombra. He's going to stick himself onto this point with glue and a bit of peanut butter, and he's probably going to secure this for the Muffin Kickers.
Muffin Kickers now taking the point. They do have 3 ults. They have the Soldier, the Winston, and the Ana ult. I am expecting a Tac Visor Ana combo right now, but there is 3 ults on the enemy side as well with the Reinhardt and the save. Oh man.
That's Diva going down already as Trad Truck going to be channeling his Nano Visor himself. Gets that first kill coming into this. He's looking for Alterna next, and he's going to hit the head there as Night Leader still tries to trade a couple back. That's going to be the Earth Shatter. Dodged out by Night Leader, not reaching that unfortunate timing as Night Leader does manage to dodge out of the Earth Shatter and still proves his superiority.
It's very interesting how these are flipping back and forward. This is just such an intense match because we barely even have time to speak about what's exactly going on before the teams are just aggressing right back onto the point. And it's so good to see such solid mechanical play and such good team play coming into these battles.
Quadish will be leading the charge forward here alongside Weirdox, so we're now back onto the point. Denta getting the kill onto Ayaman as that's going to be one more EMP, taking so many people, getting those cooldowns out, and Denta securing the second kill there down onto Night Leader. Health bars are going to be flashing from the side of Muffin Kickers, but that will be the Genji Blade securing 2 kills. Make that 3 as he's trying to hold on to this point. Hammer kick doing work here, not before he's taken down by Quadish, however. Ayaman and Fusion trying to get into the fight, trying to keep this point, trying to keep it going, and they are going to keep everything still in motion. Fusion still hasn't been taken down as Alterna going to come in with the Lucio, channels that ultimate to keep everything in motion, and that's been the story of this game so far. Fights continuous, 97 on the point as we're seeing Unreal start to aggress once again. They're coming in, Pulse Bomb does miss on the backside, however Azardian does secure the kill down onto onto Morty. Nano boost onto Weirdox, gets Fusion onto the ground, gets him out of the mech. Now we're seeing Sombra get the escape here as Weirdox secures 2 kills for himself, and Unreal Esports secure the point.
And they have got it right back. This Ana on Unreal Esports is extremely impressive. Zardan's doing a great job. You can't even tell that they have one healer going into this. The enemy team has much more healing, much more utility with that second healer role in Lucio, but it's coming out as if there's no difference in them at all. This healer is on fire this entire game.
Weirdox will be missing out on the Monkey, who's just managed to jump into the backline. Does take Zaradan down at the very beginning of the fight, but that will be the Graviton Surge coming out of the side of Unreal Esports now, trying to keep everything in motion. Tac Visor coming out of Trad Truck as he's going to be putting that into Fusion's defense matrix. That will, however, be Knight Leader using his ultimate to secure the point once again, as Denta trying to get on here, keep the contest going and force overtime out just a little bit more. That's a sleep dart hitting onto Fusion in the backline, allowing Kier to get into the point before being taken down almost immediately. Still aggression on the point and overtime depleted. Muffin Kickers take it 1-1.
It's very surprising. Like earlier in the round, I believed that Unreal Esports was going to take that. With how aggressively they were able to hold that point, it was very surprising for them to be edged out in the end by Muffin Kickers.
Another point to make as well is Kier on that Sombra managed to do a lot of work in the fights all over. The two flankers alongside the soldier didn't actually make too much of a difference, and Sombra's one of the picks we don't get to see very often.
No, Sombra's usually a very unorthodox pick. We do know that the higher the division is, usually the better that she's used. We have a lot of people in the higher divisions who are more experienced with using her and playing her properly, getting those health packs going for their entire team, and their team will know to go with them because they have a bit better coordination than some of the others. It has turned out very well for them. It's a shame that they didn't win with that strategy in the second round.
Does look like the side of Muffin Kickers are going to get onto the point first here, as Zaradan and Kier going to be taking the air superiority once again with that pharmacy combo. Quadish does get the hook, nothing lands off of the top of this as the fight is going to be taken inside the point. Kier always getting Diva first, managing to take down Knight Leader's mech before he takes down Morty with another well-placed rocket. Denta getting into the fight as well, as Quadish will add his name to the kill feed, taking down Aya Man, who will just be going back to the respawn. And I have a funny feeling that this is going to be going to Unreal Esports on the point once again.
Pretty sure. If they didn't get it, I would have been very surprised. Denta doing an incredible job moving around in this Tracer, in the right places at the right times and all this. Great blink management, great rewind management when we see them pull it out. Just wonderful play from them all around.
Of course, these are the higher averaged SR team coming into this as well, and it's starting to show. Unfortunately, of course, Muffin Kickers did manage to take the round off of them, as Rocket Barrage coming down from Kier already does get one kill, as Kier secures the second onto Knight Leader there. Denta also taking down the mech, as Kier does take Alterna out of the fight. Hammer Kick will slash through Trad Truck to try and secure at least one trade. Looks like Muffin Kickers trying to aggress this point, and Kier going to get one more kill. He's on fire this round.
He really is. He is going all in every single time that he hits one of these rockets. It's just really on top of it every single time. Both teams have very good players coming into this, and watching them go against each other is honestly a treat that we have not been able to have in previous tournaments.
Tac Visor will be coming down from Fusion to get the entrance. That's going to be the nano boost on top of that. Gets 2 kills almost immediately with that. Hammer Kick will slice and dice through Weirdox, but that's the res coming out now. Breaking down the beats, and this is going to be beating the meat as Hammer Kick does secure another kill himself. Denta does unfortunately go off the side of the map as Trad going to get the boop down onto Fusion. That will be one more combo coming through with all of the ultimates of Unreal Esports, but oh my goodness, the self-destruct also kills Quadish off. This is all over the place on the fight front, and both teams fighting for their life as Denta once again goes down. Still Unreal Esports on this point, but they are continuously aggressed as Trad Truck, the only man left alive, gets the boop to secure Knight Leader's mech before going down to the mini Hannah.
If they keep playing like this, they're gonna kill you, douche. You're not going to be able to breathe for the entire time.
I'm quite alright with that. We're seeing a great game
Yeah,
coming
this
through.
is an amazing game coming out.
Taking a look at how the players, I think will give me a bit of breath here. I'm going to take a slight break from play-by-play to just quickly ask you, what exactly are both of these teams doing right here?
Both of the teams have incredible DPS, and their healers are so good at keeping them alive. Usually, like, from the lower divisions, we'll see, you know, some teams who are just have players who are a little bit better than the others, things like that, going into these rounds. We'll have, you know, the DPS be the star players in the team, or the tanks being the star players. But in these matches, we're just seeing everybody performing their role perfectly at almost all times.
Hammer Kick switching onto the McCree now, does get one kill before being traded off. Ironman will do his best to kill off both of the healers there. This will secure the point still for Muffin Kickers. What about the role of the tanks here?
The role of the tanks is incredibly important, and both of these teams right now, they're going fairly heavy on the dive. They've had Winston up until this point, but now they're going on to D.Va and Zarya on the Unreal eSports side. But both of them are very good at using their utility on D.Va to cancel out damage coming in, keep their team nice and healthy, and block everything out. Also, the Winston is very good at aggressing in, jumping in, creating space. Even though this isn't a map that space isn't necessarily needed as much, he's being very good about aggressing the squishies on the enemy team and keeping the pressure on them, which is helping them hold this point longer and longer every single time.
And this pharmacy once again coming into the fold. That will be Ironman managing to get the mech straight out, but ult's being blown across the board as Fusion going to be getting the better of this. That's 4 kills
Oh my
secured
God.
with the tactical visor, and this is probably going to be the round over to the Muffin Kickers.
Yeah, it's a shame for Zardin because he did have that res coming in. You could see him float in there trying to get everyone, but he was just taken down by that nano visor before he could even trigger it.
Definitely the case, and once again we're going back to Control Center.
Well, this was a very good map for Unreal Esports. We are seeing a bit of dominance now coming out from the side of Muffin Kickers, who seemed like they had a little bit of a slow start in the first map. Though each of these is mostly who can edge out the other team more. They're very good in their technical skills, they're very good in their mechanical skills, they know how to play together as a team. It's more coming down to how they're working well together in the team fight, and each time it's just them coming in, improving a little bit each time, and trying to get right back in on that point. Sometimes they can, and sometimes they can't, but we will see going forward who is able to take this map and take this point first.
Looks like both teams already looking for domination of the point once again. This will be Weirdox on the Winston jumping in. Does get the first kill straight down onto Fusion there. Quadish will be backing him up alongside Kier, who's now on that Tracer. Did a lot of work in Farah in our previous rounds as Denza going to be back onto that Genji Knight. Leader's mech not going to survive for very long inside this, as that's going to be Denza killing off once again a 2-man pulse bomb as Hammer Kick and Morty go down, and Denza is just going to clean this fight up.
Kier is doing a great job all around. We've seen him on the Pharah, we've seen him on the Tracer now, and it's just incredible plays from him every single time. We do also have a very light healing composition coming out from Unreal Esports right now. They do have the Lucio and Zenyatta, which is becoming more favored now, but does have lighter healing, which has to be kept in mind for all of these pushes.
This fight will be progressing forward at a 2-to-1 disadvantage here, as that's going to be evened up as Tradtrot getting one more kill. Fusion proving me wrong once again as he gets those Helix rockets straight down onto Kier. Dragonblade does come out from Denza, however, he's going to get one, he's going to get two, and this looking for the third now, looking for Fusion. Doesn't manage to get it, that's Iridium managing to get it himself. Weirdox finishing off Fusion in the end, as we're going to see Unreal Esports keep the point again.
They're doing a very good job of keeping their advantage going. They know exactly how to play to keep this up and keep control of the point. They're doing very well in this, and they are doing a very good control point dive. Both of the teams are, to their credit, doing a very good control point dive, though.
Gonna have to see how they manage to navigate this next fight. This is 3 ultimates up. That's gonna be 1, 2 support ultimates used from the side of Unreal Esports. They're gonna engage straight back into the fight. Weirdoc's looking for the backline as he's managed to pin 1. He's managed to pin 2. Denta does the work on the front line. However, Alterna does go down as Quadish gonna finish off Hammer Kick himself. Knight Leader next on the chopping block as he's gonna be forced to use that self-destruct. Doesn't manage to find any kills. However, as Mini Diva goes down and Kier finishes off Morty.
I think... Oh god, Yeah, LaFawn, thank you for pointing that out. But, basically, like, both of these teams are playing extremely well going in. And, really, it's hard to say who's playing the best on both of these teams. Both of these teams are doing incredibly well no matter what they're playing on.
We do know that Unreal Esports have a lot of players who flex quite evenly, as we're just going to see Unreal Esports manage to bring this back up to 2-2 here. Final round coming out of Lijiang Tower.
Also,
now, of course,
thank you to the 25 people watching this right now. We really appreciate it.
Been a pretty packed week for us on the casting schedule as well. Saturday, Sunday, and now Monday.
Yeah. And also, it looks like Friday as well coming in the next week. Also, we're going to do the main stream on Saturday. We just have more and more games to cast, which I am totally okay with.
I did open the stream up with saying this is the league that keeps on giving, and if we're going to see more games like this, hell, put me down, sign me up for Saturday, Sunday, Monday through Friday, and we're going to go back to the first map of the day, which I believe was Unreal Esports taking the victory last time.
They did take the victory in this map the last time. It could come out entirely different on this map, though. Zardan getting the first pick with that Zenyatta on Fusion, and Kier following up on Morty.
Looking at the positions that these guys are playing as well, as this is just going to be all of the dominoes toppling from Muffin kickers here, as the point going to be taken by Unreal Esports. What do we have to say about the positioning coming out of the Muffin kickers?
Honestly, the positioning coming out of the Muffin kickers is fairly good. They know what they're doing coming into this. It's just that right now, Unreal Esports is getting off a bit more damage. They're doing better picks. They have good focusing on their targets. And really, Zardan coming off in the beginning with that right-click charge directly into Fusion gave them such a leg up in this fight that it was really, really hard to come back from.
Now, when we do have to take a look at these teams, we're saying excellent, we're saying good a lot here. But of course, Unreal Esports are taking the advantage. What could Muffin Kickers change up here to make sure that they're getting the advantage instead?
Well, right now they do have 2 main healers, so they will have more healing coming into this fight. Oh, Kier slept off the backside, taken out by Fusion. But really...
Rocket Barrage does come down just to try and edge you out there, and that will probably be Muffin Kicker securing this point, as the kills are going all red on this kill feed, and this will be the point taken, but please finish your point.
Basically, right now they have a bit more healing so that they can keep up with the enemy team. It's not that, you know, before having a different healer wouldn't have worked. It's just that now they're really kind of compensating for, you know, the amount of damage that the enemy team is coming and bringing forth with them. They do have a heavy dive on the enemy team, and if they can stay alive through that, like Kier going down and moving into their team, then they will be able to just do some great work.
We're going to reset the fight with that Mercy Res coming in with Zeridian now. He's going to be using the Transcendence to try and make himself a presence. The Dragon Blade does come through from Denta straight into Fusion's Tactical Visor. Fire at Will channeled in the background as Hammer Kick going to be taken out of the fight almost immediately after casting that ultimate. Still has 71% charge there though. Now Zeridian does finish up the pick onto Fusion, and that's going to be the retake coming out of Unreal Esports.
Unreal Esports is doing such an amazing job to hold these maps. And really, they're being so aggressive that they can just get in there, move inside of the team with Kier just diving in on that Tracer, get a pick, and then push in very hard.
Now, coming up to the latter stage of these fights, we do have a request for you, which we're going to be able to instantly do, because Energy's a babe, And we'd like to engage with the community here as well. We have one request to get some POV from the healers, as Zeridian, being one of those healers, gets 2 headshots and 2 kills. Kier finishing up onto Knight Leader as well. Still fight going in favor of Unreal Esports here as Weirdox does manage to secure the kill onto Hammerkick. Zeridian, one of our star healers, coming out with 1 more headshot. This guy must be Scream, because we are getting those 1 digs. Trad Truck does manage to boop Fusion for the victory. Unreal Esports taking the first game.
They did an incredible job. Really, they worked so well at putting out so much damage in a short amount of time. It was overwhelming for them to move in like that.
Weirdox getting this play of the game from the second round. Dirty charge! Disgusting hammer. And there goes the weeb.
All 6 kills right there.
Absolutely huge. Now, looking once again, we never really did get to finish that point. Muffin Kickers edged out by Unreal Esports there. What did they need to do to come back from these fights?
Honestly, there's a lot of things that they could do, but they really just needed to counter the dive a little bit more. The dive was so aggressive on them. If they could get down the DPSs a bit faster, or, you know, continue to heal and out-heal the damage that the diving DPS rolls were doing, then they would have been able to survive a little bit longer. But it really just kind of came down to Unreal Esports being as aggressive with the pushes as they were, as aggressive diving in, and really they were taking a lot of risks while they were doing that. If they didn't stay alive during those, and they would just be giving up the point every single time. When they're holding the point, they were going out to meet, you know, the enemy team every single time, and if they went down, if 1 or 2 of them went down in that dive, then they would basically just be giving up the point. And that is a lot of what happened to them when they lost that point, is that they were being very aggressive, and when they were just doing that, if they lost 1 or 2 members of their team, if one of them couldn't pull it back like Kier a few times on that Pharah, then they would just lose the point. And it is a high-risk, high-reward strategy, but it worked out for them in the end.
Of course, when we did see Muffin Kickers manage to take the round, that was off of the back of Unreal Esports' over-aggressiveness more than anything else from the looks of it. Just wrong aggression at the wrong time. And it's unfortunate. You have to think that Unreal Esports were probably quite tilted by losing at such an advantage.
Yeah, they did have... Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, Unreal Esports did have the advantage a lot of the time, and they really just ended up losing the map a few times because they were a little bit too aggressive, and that's not anything against them. They do play that very aggressive, and that is great for them. But, you know, if you do go down during that aggression, then it's very hard to come back. They do have, you know, Zardin on their team who was pulling them back from the brink more than a few times with that Mercy Res when they had the Mercy in. And even with the Zenyatta, they were doing work getting off those hits on the head, getting kills themselves. But the Mercy Res was so important to them saving the point more than a few times. Honestly, Muffin Kickers did a fantastic job to just, you know, abuse the aggression. And when they did, and they did it properly, they got that point back.
Definitely the case. And once again, bringing it back over to the community, another place I'd like to point out that does have a fantastic community, the OWUL Scrub Cup, is in chat with us, and they're watching us. They're saying nice work, you guys, and nice work to those guys over at the Overwatch Scrub Cup, who are putting on a fantastic tournament for players below the 2,500 mark. So if you are looking for something to get involved with, there's another fantastic place to go to.
We will also be doing casting for them in the future as well, so if you're interested in watching us even more, go ahead and follow them, because we would love to have you for even more engagements like this one.
You know, I gotta say, I'm surprised you didn't take that as an opportunity to plug your own stream a little bit there.
They're already watching my stream. If you're not following, please follow. I would love that. In addition,
Energy begging.
Yes. In addition to casting, I do variety streaming as well, so there is that. And also, thank you to the person who just followed. I really appreciate that.
Optimal timing.
Optimal timing. Great job from you.
Going back into the game, however, we're going to be heading over to the Temple of Anubis, which is another home map of both of these teams.
Yeah, that is crazy how both of these teams, both in Division 1, managed to choose both Lijiang and Temple of Anubis. You don't exactly expect, choosing Temple of Anubis that you're ever going to, choose Temple of Anubis. Nobody picks this map. It's usually, one of the neutral maps for this tournament, and that's the only time we see it.
I like to think of it as their own way of actually tilting the enemy team, but unfortunately both teams going for that same tilt the enemies with the tie strategy.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get in here and you can be aggressive, and thank you again for the next follow, I appreciate that. But basically, if you can get in there and take that point, and I think that Kier and his team will be able to when they're on attack, oh man, headshot immediately.
Here with that disgusting dink in the donk, as I'm going to call it for now, as Denta's also going to take out Night Leader. We've got the upper apartment rush, as that sounded a little bit too much like CSGO there, so let's bring it back to reality. We do have bodies on the point, but that's going to be instantly taken out by Weirdox.
Yeah.
Going to be a very held engage.
Bring it back to reality, a good 100 or 200 years in the future.
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
Oh,
as unfortunately, now taking a look at it, we do have the upper apartment hold is also going to be coming through, but that leads to Tracer managing to get through the backline, does take Denta out of the fight almost immediately. Hammer kick coming around as well. Flanker taking out the Widow, as that's Man also taking out the healer. Now the rush will be coming down as Body's going to be hitting this point. Trad Truck will be trying to find an engagement here, but Night Leader does put him out of his misery and puts him back to the rest of the team, as this is probably going to be the one and done on the dry push.
Yeah, really, oh man, and the Winston ult comes out. He is angry and he put on those boxing gloves.
He needs to be, not just using boxing gloves, but coming out with peanut butter in his fists or something like that, just slapping peanut butter on people's faces.
A nice squishy slap with his hand. But
I really need to stop getting
You do. That's like a little bit of a extra descriptive thing that we did not need.
Man, I'm more than happy to do the sound effects coming into this as well. Blizzard hire me, but this is going to be a Winston using his ultimate. Iron Man will be trying to find the engage coming into the backline. Nanoblade is also going to be used as Hammer Kick does get the first kill in this engagement. Fusion taking out Denta and his counterpart. Bodies rushing the point once again, as this has been the moral of the story all the way around. Fusion takes out Weirdox. We do have the defense coming through. Night Leader does get the Diva mech. Hammer Kick trying to find more, as he's going to be rushing into the backline, trying to interrupt the spawns now, as 4 bodies still on the point. Tracer now coming out from Kier, tries to aggress, tries to defend, but this isn't going to be going too well. Denza does manage to pick up the slack, however, uses that tactical visor to take out Hammer Kick, as Iron Man going huge. 2 tickle kills from the Winston. Zaridan is trying to find more. Still a very even fight across the board. Still a couple of ultimates that can be used, but no disengage coming through. Self-destruct will probably force that now, as that is going to be the disengage for a couple of moments, getting that brief part of respite. Take a breath, Weirdox. You've just led me out with the 2 kills that you got.
Yeah, you get to take a breath too now. No one expects the Widow Inquisition on defense. This is true. No one expects it. But basically, Muffin Kickers has been so aggressive going into this round, it's really almost like seeing, Unreal eSports in the last round. They're just moving in, they're diving super hard, similar picks. They only have the 1 tank going into this, though, and I think the extra DPS is doing them good.
Dragon Blade does come out of the offense here, and that's going to be a lot of damage already taken out. Night Leader does finish off Denta, but this will be the Nano. The Nano Visor coming out from Fusion here, trying to find some extra work. Doesn't secure the kills, manages to get the one on to the Tracer. We did see a couple more ults used within this engage, but still a very even fight across the board, as it looks like the defense are going to once again hold the offense off.
They do have 4 minutes now, basically, to take 30% of the point, but if they do not manage to get this, they still are at an 86.5%, which is extremely respectable. You will be able to hold, like, on your defense on this, that percentage if you're just holding the point aggressively. If you can pull back against any dive that's coming out, then really you can just do this proper. Here on Bastion now. I love seeing Bastion, and I was not expecting to see Bastion in a Div 1 game, for sure.
We do get to see these interesting picks coming out. That's going to be a Dragon Blade used by Hammerkick to try and force extra ult to be used. Doesn't secure any kills so far as Kier going to get his first on that Bastion. Probably the first time he's really played Bastion this season, as that's going to be Genji using the deflector. Put all of that Gatling gun damage back into the robot's dirty, dirty face. Weirdox will be trying to pull more defensive hammer swings around. I'm surprised it's not Hammerkick using the hammer here. But that aside, he gets to second. Down onto the Hammerkick, funnily enough.
I mean, you never really see Hammerkick playing Reinhardt. You mostly see him playing Genji or Tracer. Well, not Tracer. We saw him playing Genji and Pharah. These maps. And really, he's been doing an incredible job at both of them.
Definitely the case.
Is it smooth or crunchy peanut butter? It's always crunchy peanut butter. What are you talking about?
This is a perfect time to lead into the pause here. Unfortunately, Socks for the win. Know him very personally in real life. He's not a fan of the crunchy peanut butter. Now, I'm not saying that we go and brigade him, but we need to teach him that crunchy is the way forward here.
Would be better for punching, I guess. It would be.
He's got a point. I think we may have swayed him here.
It also just tastes better. I'm saying it definitively. Crunchy peanut butter tastes better. And I'm going to hear this from you later, and I don't care. It tastes better, man.
But of course, we are in the pause at the second. Muffin kickers have been unable to get the full take of the second point so far. We do have the record of 86.5. What do we need to see coming from them in this next push as the pause is going to be coming out to take this point definitively?
Honestly, if they keep up with this aggression, I think if they can get 1 or 2 picks on the enemy team, they will be able to take it. That blade shutdown, yeah, Homemade Pizza brought up in the chat, that blade shutdown in the previous fight was huge.
And I'm glad that we do have people to point that out, because I completely missed it. Just the nature of play-by-play sometimes, because we don't share the same directed camera. But once again, Muffin Kickers are going to be coming onto this point. Iron Man taken out of that mech almost immediately, as once again, the point is still on lock from Unreal Esports. Incredible defense again.
Oh, taken out with those rockets, man. That is painful. Another pause coming out, and I'm not even sure what I'm looking at this time, to be honest.
Unfortunately, we do have a member of the side of Muffin Kickers who's DCing constantly at the second, so he's just going to need to restart his PC. But this could come up quite large in the next fight, because of course when you DC from these games, you lose all of your ult charge.
You do. You will lose whatever ult charge that you had, and that's going to make it a little bit harder. There is still 2 minutes left in the game, so they can get back their ult charge, and they can get their ult before the end, but it is going to slow down their team's next push, for sure. Also, thank you for the 28 of you who are now watching this. I do not expect those kind of numbers on my stream, and I really appreciate it.
I think we need to get back to my references. I did get to use a Jay-Z reference the other day for the mainstream.
You did.
Actually, we probably shouldn't get to the references. Taking a look at some of the notes that we got earlier, before we managed to get into this game.
Yeah.
Unreal Esports, they're a team that they've all been playing together for 3 to 4 months now, and we're definitely seeing that coming out of their play.
They are really playing extremely well together, but this has just been an incredible match so far. Everything that everyone's doing is so good, and it is extremely surprising to see that. We don't normally get to cast these Division 1 games. I think the highest we've casted before was Division 2? I think we've done Division 2.
We had a Division 2 scrim. We also did have a semi-professional team that got disqualified from one of our German tournaments.
We did, and they were completely dominating that tournament. I feel a little bit bad that they were kicked out, but you know, what can you do? You have to follow the rules.
Exactly the case. But of course, into this game, taking a look, we do have Knight Leader coming back into the game. Now, once again, what do we need to see Muffin Kickers do to break this point?
We need to see the aggression. We need to see them pull out the aggression that they had on that first point. It will take them a little bit, I think, to get that going, but we've seen that every single time that they're able to get 1 or 2 picks, they are able to turn the tide in their favor if they're up just that one number, and they need that one number to pull out this fight.
And that one number could be so many of the picks, but looking for picks, who should we be seeing the team focus down with this dive comp?
I think they really need to be focusing down Zardin, because every single time they've been able to take out Zardin in the beginning of these fights, or the beginning of, you know, the team engagement, they've been able to sway it really hard in their favor. That's nearly how they took it the first time, because Hammerkick dove in extremely hard on Zardin, got them down before the fight really started, and then the entire team was able to move in, take nearly everybody out, and get that 86.5% that we're seeing on the scoreboard.
I'm going to let you continue with a couple of these notes going forward. So, aside from the picks that we have mentioned, what they need to do, taking a look at some of these players, do we need to see any switch-ups coming through, do you think?
Honestly, I think the attacking composition, as they've, been having it so far, has been good. They've been running 3 DPS and a single tank with 2 healers, and that is exactly what we'll be wanting to see them play, because if you do look at the Unreal eSports side now that we're back to this screen and not, the current match between screen, we do have 3 tanks on the side of Unreal Esports, and really the only way to counter that is by taking out the main healer or by having an overwhelming amount of damage coming into the fight, and that can only be done with a well-coordinated 3 DPS or a Roadhog as your second tank coming in. But because they're not running that normal, Deathball comp, that is not the case. They do need to be playing a 3 DPS dive, and that is what they're doing right now.
And we're going to have to see if that's going to be successful for the guys here. 1 minute 50 left on the clock. So, still plenty of time for about 1 to 3 pushes? How many would you say in there? That's a very vague figure from me.
I'm probably going to say 2, honestly, because their team fight's going for a while.
Now, before I show how low my SR is, this knowledge I'm going to be coming through. That's going to be Hammerkick getting 2 kills almost instantly, one with the Dragon Blade. Tac Visor does come down now as Knight Leader going to be going through. Fusion picks up the kill with that Tac Visor, and that's going to be the game in the blink of an eye.
It's incredible. That was a lot faster than we expected, I'm certain. Yeah, coming into this next one, we will see Unreal Esports on attack, and if they can use that Widow like they did on that first point defense to get 1 or 2 entry picks, then they'll be able to frag out properly and get the rest of the team down. I think that might be something that we're seeing coming into this, but it does show that Kier is playing the Sombra pick right now, which has been working out for them in the past. Though, Trad Truck on that Widowmaker, so we may be seeing a Widowmaker on this first point anyway, which would make this a 4 DPS, 1 tank, 1 healer comp, which is unorthodox to say the least, but we will see if it works out for them. They are more running the Sombra as like a semi-DPS, semi-healer, more akin to Zenyatta, I think, than they are as an actual, DPS pick. So it's more like they're playing it it's more like they're playing it, sorry, no golden balls, yeah, that's sad. But it's more like they're playing her like an off-healer, I think, than they are as anything else.
Of course, we won't be seeing the golden balls come through, but we do get to see Kier once again on that Sombra, which was something that we did actually get out of the team captain of Unreal Esports earlier, just how much he loves playing that pick.
I mean, it is an unorthodox pick, but it is a wonderful pick, and I love seeing it when it's played properly, and we have been seeing Kier come in, playing it well, knowing when to do the hacks on the health packs, knowing when to use the hacks on the enemy team, and he's so good at getting his ult charge up fast and getting these good ults off on the enemy.
the ult charge was something that really played a factor in the King of the Hill map as well. Gonna be having to see whether it comes in effect here. Of course, with the shield coming out from Quadish, not something that's gonna be, you know, stopping there, but I Am a Man will also be having that shield up on the Reinhardt. Direct counter to that if we do get the hack coming through. Winston gonna dive straight in aggressive here, does put the shield down, manages to get some of that early ult charge, but that's gonna be a dive straight away. You blink and you miss it, and Hammer Kick kills Afara as a Lucio takes down the Mercy, and then the fight coming through thick and fast. They know they have the advantage here. Hammer Kick once again going through as he's gonna take that kill down onto the Monkey, and this is very aggressive from the defense.
Quadish already taking a player out, though, on the enemy team. If they can... Oh, Hammer Kick going down to Denta. Kier nearly has his ult up, too, so they may be able to push in and use that Sombra ult, EMP down on the team, and just take the first point really aggressively.
I'm not sure if you were saying poo, mush, or push. Push there.
I think push. I think push mixed with mush, and I don't know why.
And we were already seeing that EMP come down. 3 kills were secured beforehand as the attack has already managed to get themselves straight onto the point. Hammer Kick trying to aggress a little bit too far here, and that's gonna be pretty much it. You blink and you miss it once again.
Yeah, looks like Muffin kickers are just sticking on the point now. And Kier moving out a little bit forward so that he can get these hacks off on the health packs.
Just want to point out in chat, lol this game, also known as Symmetra. You should be used to unorthodox comps by now, and thanks to you guys over in the slow cookers, I think we are.
We are definitely used to unorthodox comps. Doesn't mean that we like pointing it out any less.
Dragon Blade now coming through onto the backline. Denta gonna get that first pick. Gonna get the second as Alterna falls. 2 for Weep here as the Weep stick in hand does die, however, on the backside as Hammer Kick gonna find the Mercy, and Kier tries to find one more pick. Still a very aggressive push coming out from the side of Unreal Esports. They know what they're doing, but the defense is holding strong. Muffin Kickers will be using that nano boost down onto Knight Leader, who's just gonna scare everyone away, but he's such a beautiful man.
Denta switching over to the Hanzo now, which is an interesting pick. It does get a lot of damage, and if you are very accurate with it, it is an extremely good pick. Even the scatter arrow alone is enough to get a lot of damage off. And his zoning ult is incredible for getting people off of the point.
Gonna have to see if he does do any work with that, and apologies to anyone in chat who does get offended by me not liking the Hanzo too much, because the skill that I just got to see, the bloody scatter arrow. Straight away, the fight will come out, though. One charge is going to land, and the Fire Strike gets the second. Weirdoc's going very aggressive with this. Tries to find that push in. That's going to be the tempo res coming out of the Mercy now, as we're going to be going straight forward. We're going to look for these picks. Alterna going to be on the receiving end of a hammer, and he's going to take an arrow to the face instead. Monkey does manage to respawn and get himself back onto the point, however, not before he's taken down. Scatter Arrow doesn't find anyone there, as Quadish will be finding a kill for himself. Attack Visor will be channeled to try and hold the defense here. Nothing really going to be working from that, but that's going to be the pincer coming out from the side of Muffin Kickers as I Am a Man secures 4 kills for himself.
That may be the play of the game. 5 now. I Am a Man just really doing great. Or Aim a Man. I'm pretty sure it's Aim a Man.
Huge plays from that Reinhardt, really showing who the man here is, and I'm a man, gonna be my man. And that could get really weird, and I just sort of had a bit of a brain fart coming
Made
from
it a little bit odd.
Looking at the attack coming through now, though, what do we have to see Unreal Esports do to cap this point?
I think they just need to keep on moving in. They're definitely doing very good. Each time that they're pushing, they've gotten a good amount of percentage up on the map already. They just need to keep on moving like they are. Get
The outplay on the charge as Weirdox takes I Am down at the back of the point in that little alleyway section, as Kier going to be securing 2 kills for himself. Going to break it down now as Lucio's once again going to give that shield to the team. Looking forward as we're going straight in. Kier secures another. The headshot down onto Anna. The Grandma does get brutally murdered. That's going to be one more Graviton Surge as the hammer is going to be swinging all the way into that I'm a Man. Put down onto the floor as that's going to be another charge. Weirdoc's going out of his mind on this this Rhine pick as Kier secures so many kills to finish off. Perfect DPS play. Tracer from Knight Leader now coming through, trying to make sure that that point cap is delayed as much as possible. Hammer kick will get taken out of the sky as Kier doesn't want to have any air superiority. Fusion using that tactical visor now as Quadish will be finished out of the fight. That's going to be Denta going down as well, looking for the third as Alterna picks up Weirdox himself. Kier only trades 1 kill back, and this will be another reset coming out of Unreal Esports.
Yeah, LaFawn commenting in chat, Hammer isn't really getting value out of his blade where Denta is. Yeah, Hammer, when he was on the Genji on defense, wasn't really getting as much value out of it as Denta was. And that was a bit of a differential, but now Hammer is back on that far that we've been seeing him on, and he's been doing a good job at just putting out some damage onto the team.
Now looking for the push once again is Unreal Esports as they push down main through the bridge. Fusion trying to find something for himself, but Hammer Kick's going to be using the Rocket Barrage. Only secures the 1 kill here. Probably not as much as he was looking to do, but that's going to be another charge coming out. Quadish does get on the receiving end. Weirdox will be getting the nano boost before being brutally hammered down by another German man and a Korean schoolgirl.
There is... Oh, well, I mean, she's not a schoolgirl. She's 19, but still, like... We do have enough time for about 2 more pushes, maybe 3 if they're short. So this is basically the amount of time that the first attacking team Muffin Kickers had going into this point. They really need to get in it and get on it now if they want to have any time going into this next push. Or if they're just going to take it back at all.
Still seeing Knight Leader playing that defensive Tracer. Not something we really see in the lower divisions, but we're seeing why it's effective here. Gets that first pick and stalls the defense once again with the Pulse Bomb.
It was very good play from them to just stop this because they do have to wait now for one of their players to get back up, get back to the front. And it is an Ana. She is not going to be moving fast. Kier also going down now to delay this push a little bit more. Really, the defense is doing a very good job at moving out and just kind of prolonging the stall. They need to move in soon if they're going to be able to do anything.
The stall is still in effect here. Denta's going to try and find some work on that Genji, but no, we're going to get the engage with the Lucio ult and the Reinhardt charge. That's going to be a huge Earth Shatter, but unfortunately, that's not going to be overly effective at the second. This will be a self-destruct onto the point alongside that Graviton Surge. Doesn't secure any kills just yet, but Denta going to be going huge with the blade. 3 kills, 4 kills, and we're going to see 5 here as that's going to be Denta cleaning up, and this is I Am a Man coming back onto point, probably going to stall for a little bit here, but he's being pushed around, he's being beaten like a pillow, and he is taken out for another finish.
Great execution on this attack. Really, though, Muffin Kickers has to be commended. That final delay was so good for them. They got so much time out of that. Because even if they did lose that last point, they got, you know, the attacking team, Unreal Esports, down to under a minute, which gives them a bit more time to take this first point, and they do need that time to get this. If they can get this first point, then they may be able to take it just with that, and then if they can do a dive onto the next point, if they can get any percentage above 30%, they probably have this game in the bag.
We're not seeing any stalling compositions come through either. It's quite common to actually see picks like Symmetra, picks like the Mei to come out in these positions where the attacking team doesn't have so much time left.
Yeah, there's lots and lots of good plays that they were doing. I honestly have to give so much credit to Knight Leader for doing that Pulse Bomb at that time. It was, you know, maybe if it whiffed, it would have been like, oh, this maybe was a bad play, maybe it would have lost you the map, maybe it would have done a lot of things, but it was a high risk and it paid off. They got that stagger for just a little bit longer.
And another thing to mention, Denta sticking on that Genji, which he's been so effective on so far. Pharmacy is in the air, and it's going to be an effect. It's going to be aggressing onto Hammer Kick straight away. A point is now going to be aggressive as Denta does get the Genji superiority here. The Super Weeb does come through. Alterna does pick up Quadish's mech, but Kier trading back another, as the fight for the point is going to be in action. Kier killing both healers straight away, does finish off Knight Leader as well, and another one as Denta takes I Am a Man, Weirdox wipes out Fusion, and this is going to be possibly another point capture on the dry push.
It's going to be a point capture, and they may be able to get some, you know, damage, or not damage, they may be able to get some percentage in on this next point before the end. If they're very lucky, they will probably be having this Denta ult coming into the next one, and they could just take the point if they play this right.
It is definitely good to see the defense here not trying to aggress anymore. They realize the point is taken, and this is going to be Denta using that Dragon Blade once again. Weirdox does get the jump pack kill, and this is Denta still looking for more. Gets one healer, does get another. That's going to be Kier using the Rocket Barrage as Denta finds I Am a Man, and this is a blue swarm on the point as the blue bottle flies are going to be once again wiping up shop boot to keep the soldier off of the point. There's 33%. Looks like the second checkpoint in overtime now. We could be seeing the full take in overtime. This will be I Am a Man does get the hammer down, but he doesn't manage to finish anything up here. Still overtime on the point. So seeing some trades coming out from the side of Muffin Kickers, but that's a res. That's going to be the hero shield coming out of Weirdox as he gets 2 kills on top of that. Morty does take Quadish out of the fight. One more shield, one more push, one more stall. We're going to see Kier once again take 2 kills for the points.
That's a take in overtime. They're gonna get another chance if they need to do it. There's so much pressure now on Muffin Kickers to take this. If they can't take both points in 2 minutes, you know, an extra minute if they get this first point, then they will lose the first round of this tournament, and it will be over for them. For this round, anyway.
2 minutes 13 on the board here.
They'll still have a chance going into the next ones. If they do lose this, there is still so many weeks ahead, but there's 4 points against 2 points on this board for this map now, and there's a lot of pressure to perform coming into this.
Unreal Esports are also 1-0 up in the series so far. If they manage to get the perfect defense here, if the Muffin Kickers don't execute perfectly to get these 2 points and get a second chance at taking this, we're going to be going to a tiebreaker. So, all on the shoulders of Muffin Kickers now. They have to do this. The pressure is on.
They have to get both of the caps, and then they have to either take the first point or force the tiebreaker, because it's up to them to get this done.
Both teams going to be coming into this super prepared. They are wanting the win, and they both want to get the first round of the Overwatch University League Season 2 Week 1 on the board, as we're going to be going straight into it. Tracer already going to a point, and I am going to have to pull my finger out of my backside to make sure that I play-by-play this one perfectly, because Knight Leader still looking for fights. Kier does get the headshot down onto Alterna now. Pressure still on as Weirdex is going to be going purple. Will Hammerkick manage to secure this kill, as Fusion's going to be the one to take him down? Quadish does try to find something, but Denta's going to be the one to find it instead. Knight Leader kills off Zeridian, and this is still red point. That's going to be Trad Truck managing to push members off the point and stay onto Knight Leader here. Defense still coming through as I Am a Man does finish off Trad Truck eventually. That's going to be the no aim necessary for the Winston, as that's another kill coming out of the Monkey. The dive punch does come down, as you mentioned. Hammer kick looking for more. That's going to be the kill down onto Kier. Quadish will be trying to use this Diva to stall for more time, keep the contest going. They do not want to lose anything, as 1 minute still down onto the clock. Morty going to secure a kill for himself as Trad Truck coming back in once again. Zeridian as the healer taken out of the fight. Fusion using those cannons, managing to get the kill, and this, you have to imagine, is going to be the point here.
It's going to be the point, and this is going to be a nail biter for the second point, because they have to get this in under a minute.
And if these fights are anything like the last ones, I'm really going to have to take a deep breath and use this Dragon Blade coming through. The Speedcast going to come out as well as Hammer Kick does get the Nano Blade, looking for the kills down onto Weirdex, does get the one down onto Zeridian there. Going to be looking for the backline, but it's going to be Weirdox to take him down. Fusion still using those cannons, pushing forward. Quadish using the self-destruct up in the air. This will be no kills taken, as that will be the Monkey Hero Bubble. Once again, Tradtrog gets 2. He kills off the Tracer, and that's not supposed to be the way that it works. A successful defense in this first fight for Unreal Esports.
They have one last chance to push into this. If they do not get it in this next push, it is all over. This will be the round if they cannot take it. Fusion is the only one on the attacking side with an ult, and if he cannot get some kills with that ult, and he cannot zone them off of the point effectively, this will be it.
One altar piece here, self-destruct going down onto the bridge straight away. Purple down onto Reinhardt, as this is going to be D.Va back into the mech now. That's going to be Weirdex pushed out of the point. Kier does finish off Fusion's mech once again. Zeridian killing off the counterpart on Morty, but Dento coming in once again. He's doing work on Soldier. Kier going to take out Fusion and the Red Swarm on this point. The defense still coming through, but Dento working for his best. Finds another kill as Tradtrog takes out Alterna, and the defense comes through strong. Tradtrog gets 2, and that's our game, set, and match.
It's 2-0. That was an incredible series.
I'm just ashamed that I can't really swear here because I was halfway into
shoutcasting. Yeah.
It's kind of hard not getting that in there, but Unreal Esports pulling out the incredible defense there, keeping Muffin kickers off for such a long time, and here is the man on your screen who got the 5k with that blade, and I think we're going to see it now. How can you not swear at something like this?
So great.
Incredible play from Denta, and I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this one, because the MVP is going to go down to color, which is yourself, but yeah. Denta, my goodness.
Denta and Kier, for me, are the #1 players in this game. Night Leader has a, commendable, performance. He did very good on that Tracer, on that defense, before the very end, and it was just a wonderful match to watch. I am so glad that we got to do that and that we agreed to do this. We are so grateful for the opportunity, and thank you for coming to my stream. If you were watching it, please follow. I would appreciate it very much. And also, if you'd like to follow us elsewhere, you can follow us on Twitter at energy__being, or Douche. Where can they find you?
At Daniel Sandal, which I will put a link for those into the Twitch chat closer to the end of the stream. But just to echo your point, incredible series coming out there, and looking at the level of play coming from Unreal Esports this week, I have great faith for those guys as a team going forward into this tournament.
They're definitely going to be contenders going forward. The amount of aggression that they pull out every single time that they were attacking, that they could work together as a team so well with the dive, use the Sombra in the proper way as, the off-healer, as opposed to just, another semi-weak DPS character, was just great. Every single thing that they were doing this entire match was great. We do have to say that Muffin Kickers was also extremely good. They just kind of got beat on the aggression scale this time, and I think that if they move forward, if they know what to do, if they can just come together as a team, then they'll be able to do some incredible things going forward in this tournament as well. And maybe get to go against Unreal Esports for the final if they do get a tie in the end. So yeah.
Now, of course, whilst we have just come off of such a huge adrenaline rush, we are going to have to close it out here, unfortunately. I'd love to keep going forward with some more, but thank you once again for tuning in, and thank you once again to Energy Being for agreeing to host this stream today, and for once again having me here in the casting team, the EU Casting Couch. You can find the VODs that are going to be coming up out of this game here on Twitch or on our YouTube channel, which I'm sure Energy can put a link for in the chat as well.
I'll put a link for that in the chat. If you would like to, talk to us or try and schedule games or things, you can also find us on our new Discord server, which I will also be putting a link to in the chat. So yeah, we hope you guys have enjoyed this, and we would love to cast games for you guys. Just feel free to let us know if we have time and if we have the availability. We can cast your game, get it on this stream, or if you're, going to be playing during the regular mainstream times, you can also contact the Overwatch University League to get on that mainstream and get even more people watching you. So yeah, that's been great. We've had a wonderful match, and I'm going to thank you for the follower. Thank you for the other follower. I appreciate it, guys. But yeah, so going forward, we are going to be doing more streams for Overwatch casting on this stream. I also do variety casting on this stream. If you'd like to watch me play, probably dumb anime shit. But yeah, so you can follow this for that or whatever else. Regardless, we hope you guys have had a good time, and we will see you in the next one. We'll probably see you on Friday with another Division 1 game, I believe. Yeah, that's about it. We will see you guys next time. So, have a nice night, everybody.